What is going on, guys? It's Lando from the Snap coming at you like I do every single week for our live stream where we answer every single question. I'm here at producer Scott's house. Hopefully, y'all can see me good. Hopefully, the audio's good, the video's good. Let me know if you like my setup here. Make sure you can hear me okay. It's a little bit new, so I might need to kind of get the kind of video settings all right because we've got a high def camera. It is nice. It's very nice. So maybe I'll go down a level to make sure that we have a clear stream. So welcome in everyone. Mackenzie will be with me here shortly. So both him and I will be here. Just as a reminder, we do answer every single question. Toss a like on the video. We've got Buckstar TV. Jeff is in the chat. Snap Army member. Eric Zuberg. Easy Daddy's in the chat. Griff, always here. Paz, always showing love in the chat. Jeff, welcome in. Kicks my game. Some familiar faces to come in. Either way, very much appreciate you guys. I'm going to go over some news and notes before we start. And figure out kind of what we got to do. There's a lot of running back situations that look good, like Josh Kelly plays the Vikings. That's a great matchup. We got to figure out how we really sit on him moving forward. And also with Ford, we've got Ford coming in with Kareem Hunt likely active today, but I have quite a bit of confidence in Ford this week over Hunt. I'm not going to play Hunt if I can avoid it. So that's kind of where I'm sitting right now, but you guys, I'm sure will test my loyalty here. A report just came out before I went live that Jaylen Warren is expected to get more work this week. We've had the Najee Harris video do extremely well on our channel, and there's a lot of questions about Najee Harris and how viable he's actually going to be. He's not a guy that people have been thrilled with, and he looks really bad on the field. Jahmyr Gibbs is an auto start for me. I love Jahmyr Gibbs this week. I can't wait to see what kind of work he can get. I hope that Reynolds isn't going to be involved. It's going to be a real test this week for Jahmyr Gibbs. Christian Watson and Aaron Jones are both inactive today for the Packers. Christian Watson, I think, is a very interesting buy candidate. I think that if you have a spare spot on your roster and can afford to trade forward Christian Watson, I think he's a really good upside play. DK Metcalf is expected to play this week. So as a tiebreaker, I'm going to be starting DK Metcalf likely where I have him. But if you have a tough decision, you have a lot of really good options. Like you might have a Kyren Williams, DK Metcalf decision. I'm going to go likely with the Kyren Williams option based on the volume. I mean, even Puka. I would start Puka and Kyren, both Rams options, over DK Metcalf this week because of his injury. And that's kind of the side that I'm going to lean on. If a player's injured, they could be limited. Of course, DK Metcalf is a start in most scenarios because he's a really good option. He can score from anywhere. He's a red zone option. Love DK Metcalf, but there's obviously some question marks for injuries. So Akers is inactive this week against the Chargers. So Madison is a play. He has a really good matchup. He will get used quite a bit, I think. If you do have Madison, I'm okay starting him this week. If you can flip him and sell him, if he has a good game, if that's possible, try and do that. That's what I'm going to suggest doing for most cases. It might be a hard sell because Madison has been terrible, and everyone knows, obviously, Akers is there in that backfield. Amon-Ra St. Brown, questionable with a toe injury issue, is optimistic that he'll play today. I'm a little bit worried about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he could be limited. You might not have a better option. You're likely starting him no matter what. But if you have a better option, like in a league, I'm playing Zay Flowers over Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that is kind of the range that I'm in. It's not great. I might throw Amon-Ra by the end of this stream, but that's where we stand. So we have 16 people watching. Toss a like on this video. I'm here grinding on my own. I've got a great setup. I'm at here at producer Scott down in Toronto, and maybe tomorrow I'm going to go see Mackenzie in person. So we have Eric in the chat, LFG, let's go Snap Army. If anyone wants to support the channel or wants to get their question answered right away, throw a super chat in there. We will answer that right away. I will answer that right away, give you as much detail as I can. It helps the show a ton. If you want to be part of the Snap Army, you can hit that join button here in the link. And really all it is to show your support. You get a little badge and you kind of just, it's basically a thank you for the grind that we have here every single week, answering every single question. Eric is waiting on Josh Reynolds injury news. Exciting times. Okay. Yep. He's got a start sit question. Standard scoring. Start one flex. Josh Kelly, Romeo Doubs, and Roshan Johnson. I'm going to start Josh Kelly there, Eric. I am, despite him having a really bad week this past week and the week before without Eckler really being involved, I think Josh Kelly has a really great matchup against the Vikings this week. So I will be starting Kelly. How much target share touches will Zonovan Knight get? Probably not a ton. Not really factoring in Zonovan Knight as of right now. Kicks my game. Good morning. He's got Ford versus Elijah Moore in my flex, and I'm going to start Ford. Like I said, I'm not going to expect a ton out of Kareem Hunt this week. I still think Ford will get the lion's share of the work. That might change moving forward. I do think Hunt will get worked in. There'll be a change of pace back. He'll get pass catching work. We know that Browns like him. But especially this week, I am starting Ford with a decent amount of confidence. Jeff coming in here. Thanks for coming by, Jeff. Toss a like on the video. Trying to decide Breece Hall or Jaylen Warren full PPR. I am going to be starting Breece Hall with a decent amount of confidence. I do know that Jaylen Warren had a report saying that he is going to get more work, but I think Breece Hall has a bounce back week. So I'm going to start Breece Hall with some good confidence this week. I'm pretty excited about him. We did a video on him this past week. Went really well. I am buying Breece Hall in most spots. Obviously, those 4 carries is not inspiring, but I do think Breece Hall has a good bounce back week. Paz coming in here. Love y'all. Got weak RBs, sadly, unfortunately. Feel for you there, Paz. I appreciate the support every single week. Kendre Miller or Kareem Hunt. So I will be starting Kendre Miller this week. I think he gets a really good amount of work. I think Kendre Miller is like a sneaky start. You can start from the flex position or off waivers if you're in a kind of a shallow league. I know Kendre Miller is owned in a ton, so you might not be lucky enough to grab him. But I think Kendre Miller is a super talented guy. I'm pretty excited about him with Jamal Williams going on IR. Kareem Hunt, I'm just going to sit down. I don't think he's going to get a ton of work his first week back in the NFL. So I do want to give a shout out to Griff, member for 24 months. Cup of coffee. I mean, it really shows support. We do have a Discord channel, and you do have a private channel that you can join if you're a Snap Army member, just to have some more discussions with, Griff, myself, all the Snap Army members. So it's not a lot of money. Really, the perks is to support the show, show your support, get a little badge, and we very much appreciate it. So Snap Army, let's go. Eric agrees with me that it's going to be Kendre Miller. I think Kendre is a really nice start. Jeff, it's Breece, Jaylen Warren, or Elijah Moore. Full PPR. I'm still going Breece over Elijah Moore. I like the talent of Elijah, but he hasn't really shown it. Watson just, isn't proving that he's a good fantasy asset for anyone besides Amari Cooper yet. Elijah did get some looks. He was toes away from more receptions last week. Just a couple more toe taps, and he would have had a better game. Buckstar TV, happy Sunday, y'all. Thank you. LOL, Aubrey got questions. Still gonna lose, bruh. Jair Alexander is out, full PPR. Okay. Shaheed or Woods? Jeff, I'm gonna go with Woods. Rashid Shaheed has looked pretty good. So, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. That's a coin flip. Maybe Rashid. He's not a guy that I love, but he's a guy that you can spot start anywhere. I typically just bet against aging wide receivers. That's typically what I've been doing. And you get burned sometimes with the old guys producing. Thielen, Woods, Hopkins has proved to be pretty good despite he's been banged up. So I'm going to maybe roll with Shaheed and hope for a touchdown. GBP 45. Aaron Jones is out today. Start Swift or Zach Moss as my RB2. I'm going to start Swift. I'm going to, I know Zach Moss had a really good game last week, but you can't really, it's very difficult to go away from what Swift did this past week. I don't think he's going to get the line share like he did this past week. He got a ton of work. It was really great to see. I do think Kenneth Gainwell is active and will play. Probably steal about 35-40% of Swift's work, but they're going to roll the hot hand in Philadelphia, and Swift is that hot hand. So, roll with Swift this week and see what happens there. Buckstar's in a 14 full PPR league. He's got Chubb on IR. Unfortunately, I feel for you, man. It's a tough one. Need a second running back alongside K9. Projected to lose by 4. That context is really nice. It's nice to know that you're projecting to lose. He's got Craig Reynolds, Ty Chandler, Melvin Gordon. Ooh, I mean, in 14-team leagues, Buckstar, that's the kind of options you have. That's tough. I'm in a 16-team league with producer Scott. We have short benches. I would have similar options if I lost Nick Chubb there. So, honestly, Buckstar, I might go with Craig Reynolds here. I'm expecting the Lions to give a lot of work to Jahmyr Gibbs, but we know that the Lions never do that. So I'm going to be watching that game, pulling out my hair and wishing that Jahmyr Gibbs was on the field. It happened last year with Swift not getting the opportunity and Craig Reynolds being involved. So I do think Craig Reynolds could get in the end zone, and that's kind of what you're hoping for out of these guys. Melvin Gordon coming off the street, Ty Chandler not looking great, the Vikings offensive line being absolutely dreadful. I'll just take a risk on Craig Reynolds, and maybe he gets more involved. Maybe Amon-Ra's more less involved because of his toe injury, and then Jahmyr Gibbs is still a rookie that we love, but assuming competent coaching is sometimes very, very difficult. So Bucksar, I'm going to just close my eyes and hope for Craig Reynolds there. Good luck, my guy. Next, we got Griff saying slight leg in the channel or in the stream. Hopefully that was at 12:02, so hopefully it's better. I kind of decreased the quality of the image, and hopefully that makes the stream a little bit more smooth. So hopefully y'all are good. Make sure to toss a like on the video. We should have Matt coming in anytime, but either way, I'm here holding it down. We got producer Scott giving me a shout out this week. I'm going against him this week in the big 16-team league, and he's hoping that Henry has a big week. And here is Scotty coming in here. Oh, there's Matt coming in as well. I think Henry's got a toe issue. He's got an injury this week, Scott. Maybe it's a Tajay Spears week. Oh, that was me. Yeah. Yeah. So next we got Michael. We can introduce their Mac here. I'll get so Mac's just in the studio. There we go. Perfect. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I switched it. There we go. Mackie is coming in, always trying to squeeze in that golf. We have a short season up in Canada, so as you can tell by his outfit, he's hit the golf course.
Look at that camera quality. Oh my gosh.
I know. I feel like a star right now. You look like a schmuck.
I do. I really do.
Did you have your dongle today?
No.
Okay. Right. Cool.
Yeah. It's great. It's great stuff.
Right on. So we got Michael. Hey guys, need a flex. Jalen Warren, Gus Edwards, Sutton, or Tank Dell. Report came out, Mac, that Jalen Warren is expected to get more work. Do you like him over Gus Edwards, Sutton, or Tank this week? Gus might be the only guy in that backfield with it's Melvin Gordon, right? That signed with the Ravens. So who are you trusting here?
Trust is a tough word.
Yeah, Tank Dell had a massive week this past week, right? Everyone picked him up.
Yeah, different game script this week though. Jalen Warren, you have to believe that the opportunity will be there. Gus Edwards, you kind of know that it will be, but how much will they rely on him is another question. I think Cortland Sutton, the word trust is very tough.
He's lost my trust. Absolutely.
I think no matter what you're going for, the potential upside, and I think truly the largest upside is either Warren or Tank Dell.
Okay. For me, it was between Gus and Tank. But I think Jalen Warren looks great. Like he looks like a very talented running back.
And,
I'm excited for him, but Najee's still going to be involved. Like Najee's
well,
probably going to get way too much work.
Najee does not look great. He looks
No,
like
he looks the
he's
opposite.
running in mud. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't blame Pittsburgh for wanting to go change of pace there and work two backs in, because it's just, Najee's lost all appeal football wise, fantasy wise, ever since they lost Big Ben. It's been a different guy.
Yeah. So I think the upside is with Tank Dell. I'm going Gus as the running back option, and then Mac likes Warren, and I don't blame him. I like Warren as well. I just not sure if he's going to get the work. Next we got DMB pick 3. He's got some exciting rookies. We got Jordan Addison in a high over-under game against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers, who we love as well. Mark Andrews and Chris Godwin. Full PPR. He wants us to pick 3. I assume, DMB, that you have Travis Kelce at your tight end position, because that's the only reason why you would be asking about Mark Andrews as a non-flex spot.
That's a good observation. Yeah. If there's anybody else in your lineup in your tight end slot other than Travis Kelce, you need to throw Andrews in there. Between Andrews and Flowers, I think you just have to go for the volume on Andrews. I don't know that I would want to start both of them, given Addison in the highest over-under game of the week at 54.5, and then Godwin is just a very safe and reliable option for Baker.
In a full PPR league as well.
Yeah, and that definitely, if it was a half, you might want to play for the upside of Flowers. But the only thing with Godwin is you have to wait until Monday.
Right.
And you might not want to take that chance if you don't have any other options. Not that he's questionable or anything, but you never know what can happen. So I probably go Mark Andrews, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, leave Flowers on the bench. If you have like TJ Hawkinson in your tight end position, I would put Mark Andrews in, and I would, like, if for whatever reason you don't have Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 27 people watching right now. Toss a like on the video. We answer every single question. We're just up top here still. I see Claire and Danny, Steve-O, Sack, all in the comments. We will get to your questions shortly. Toss a like. Hang out with us. We're here getting every single question, giving the best advice we can to hopefully win this week.
Here's an easier one for me. Khalil Herbert has lost my trust. I'm not rolling him out where I can help it. If you have Roschon Johnson, I would play him instead. Thielen, Dillon, Herbert. No Jones, no Christian Watson for the Packers today. I don't know if you went over.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep, I mentioned that.
I would play AJ Dillon.
Right.
And the Carolina Panthers will be without Bryce Young, so that does impact Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an upgrade. I don't mind Dalton as a backup. I think he's going to be pretty good. AJ Dillon hasn't really proven to be a very good running back that we want him to be. Like, we want him to be better than he is as a fantasy community. I kind of like Thielen in a full PPR league here, Rolando. But I mean, AJ Dillon, I think, can absolutely get in the end zone. I think I think we just want him to be really good. He hasn't earned my trust yet. As much as I want him to be good, I don't know if he is yet.
The only positive part for Thielen is that they play Seattle, who's giving up a decent amount to fantasy wide receivers. I think they're like the 4th most so far through 2 weeks. It's just the question of, a quarterback coming in that doesn't get regular reps with this guy. And AJ Dillon has a tough matchup on the ground, no doubt. Like, he's not really involved in the passing game. They play the Saints, who are one of the best run defenses in the league. They could box it up and make Jordan Love throw. Like, that's very possible. In a full PPR, you might lean Thielen. You're just hoping you get into the end zone with AJ Dillon.
Yep, absolutely. And he absolutely can. Like we know if he should get the opportunity, he's gonna bully that defense. He's big enough, he's strong enough. Like if he just runs a little harder and beats up on the defense, I think he could be awesome. He could be Henry like. Um, yeah, we'll see. Puka or Ridley?
Uh, I'm
Man,
not going to take the chance with Puka, so I'll go Ridley.
yeah, I mean, hard to go away from 20 targets a game for Puka. He's a bit banged. He's banged up. He's questionable, Bucks are. So yeah, I agree with that. The risk level there
It's just a
is
hedge, really.
yeah, Ridley's good. Like like you said, it's a coin flip. Both assuming both are good to go. If we know Puka's gonna play, man, like why wouldn't you not start Puka? But
Oh, for sure. But you just don't have the luxury of knowing, right?
yeah,
You have to wait until Monday to play him, and you're going to feel really silly if you wait till Monday for the upside and then he's ruled out, and then you're like,
yeah,
I could have
20,
had
yeah,
Ridley for, even if it was a handful of points, better than zero.
yeah, for sure.
So unless you have another option, like if you also have Tutu Atwell, or you can scoop him off waivers and you want to
yeah.
play the insurance policy on Puka, like you could definitely do that. I don't think Ridley is a downgrade by any means.
Yeah. Griff is in the chat right now, reminding people to give us context if you can. We do answer every single question, but if you can let us know if you're projected to win or lose, that really does help. If they're standard score in half PPR, tight end premium, whatever it is, it's really helpful to give us some context, and we can give you an upside play versus floor play. And Mac and I have already mentioned in full PPR leagues, it changes our answer. So thanks for the shout out, Griff. Snap Army member. If you do want to join our Discord community, you can follow the link. We should be in the description. Otherwise, producer Scott or I can share it after the fact. But either way, context does help us out. We got Dan coming in here. He's got Brian Robinson, Breece Hall, or Nico Collins. He half PPR, start two of them. Two RB2 and a flex. So I think Breece Hall is going to get more work than 4 carries this past week, Mac. I'm expecting him to have a big bounce back game, but the volume of Brian Robinson, I assume that's Brian. It could be Bijan.
I would assume Brian.
Yeah, because everyone's starting Bijan.
I hope you're not asking about Bijan.
Yeah. Brian Robinson, I think he's been really good. He's getting lots of work. Like I would trust him floor play over Breece right now, despite my love for Breece and what he's going to be going forward. But so if you're starting Brian, is it between Breece or Nico? Are you riding the hot hand of Nico Collins? You're going to go with Breece Hall, the explosive second-year player.
No, I think you have to put Nico in your lineup if you have him. Like the target volume's been great. He's been targeted downfield a ton, which is also nice. They have an unfavorable matchup, but that's good for wide receivers. You want to be in a position where they just throw. And like CJ Stroud, 47 attempts, 44 attempts. He's averaging 45 and a half attempts through the first 2 weeks. They're just letting him throw it. That bodes well for Nico Collins and for Tank Dell. So I would play Nico for the upside. I would probably stray away from Breece. I think just the volume for Robinson is guaranteed, where you just never know if Breece is going to get game scripted out in a tough match against New England, if they're going to lean on Dalvin a little bit. I'm probably just going to sit Breece down for one more week and just kind of see how it plays out. But both matchups are tough, New England and Buffalo for both Robinson and Hall. I'm just going to play the volume there. So Robinson Collins would be my
Sounds
advice.
good. Stewart, he needs to drop a player. He's got a really tough decision. Must be in a pretty shallow league because he's deciding between Flowers, Godwin, and then he's got Collins as a definite. So I assume he's starting Collins, but I don't want to be dropping Flowers or Chris Godwin.
No.
That's a tough spot. Like I personally would drop Nico Collins, even though I'd rather I'm starting him. And
the question is, why do you have to drop?
Yeah.
Like, is your
lineup
roster
legal?
locked? Is
Yeah.
your roster locked, and you like need to put in a defense or a kicker, or what is the actual reason? Because if you have Collins in, you can hold those two guys as long as you don't make roster moves. Then you're you're fine, unless your league has a rule against you can't be over.
Yeah, most leagues it just locks your roster, and then if as long as it's fine, good enough. Like if Nico's in there and you have an extra player on the bench, just keep them on the bench.
Sure. But
Right.
if I was asked, like, who do I want to drop between these three, it would be Nico Collins, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, as context, full PPR with 1.5 PPR for tight ends.
Okay.
Pickens, Lockett, Godwin, Evan Engram at RB, Sanders, Ford, and Pierce. I mentioned this earlier before you got here. I don't think Kareem Hunt's going to be super involved week one coming back. So I am starting Ford with a decent amount of confidence, especially if you blew a small fortune of fab or a priority on him.
And the thing is, like, the Browns brought in Kareem Hunt preseason for a workout after letting him go. Like, don't forget that Kareem Hunt asked for a trade last year. He wasn't happy with his workload. He wasn't happy with the compensation he was getting. He was on the books for $6.5 million last year, where Nick Chubb is on for 12. They basically cut Kareem Hunt because they weren't willing to pay the price. They brought him back for a workout, didn't bring him back on a veteran deal, and now once they lost Nick Chubb, went back to him. But he's got a $4 million deal maximum with incentives. Like, he's not going to be the bell cow focal piece for this run offense. Like, it's going to be a 2-back split, and I don't know why Jerome Ford would lose that. So if you paid for Ford, I would take Ford. I'd put him in your lineup for sure. Pickens, Lockett, Godwin, all very, very different plays. This is where league format would, for me at least, play a part in picking. Like, if it's a full PPR, I might just lean on Godwin for the volume. If it's a half PPR or even standard,
So it's full. She mentioned full PPR.
it's full. Sorry,
and a point and a half for tight ends.
So I would probably lean Godwin.
Yeah, I would probably lean Lockett. So she needs 2 wide receivers. I need a flex, 1 RB, and 2 wide receivers. So Godwin, Lockett are getting the most targets. Pickens looks pretty good. Lockett had a big game this past week, and DK Metcalf, though he's playing, is questionable. Could lean more volume going Lockett's way. So I think Lockett's kind of locked in for me. And then Forward as well. And then we need another. And you like Godwin in the volume over Pickens?
So yeah, so Godwin, Lockett is who we go with for wide receiver if we pick one each.
Yep.
Running back, I think you have to play Sanders over Ford.
Yep. Oh, and then, I would go Ford over Sanders, I think.
And then for flex, I would play Ford. Like, I would just go Sanders, Ford. Yeah. You're going Ford over Sanders? That's interesting.
I think so. Yeah. He looked really good. I think Sanders just hasn't passed the eye test for me yet this year. I think he could have a good bounce back game. I think they have a good matchup if memory serves.
They have Seattle.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good matchup. It's
just a low over under.
Yeah.
42.5.
Yeah. I think they're probably close, but how good Ford looked last week, and he should get all the volume. Yeah, that's where I'd go. So Kelly has a phenomenal matchup, Mac, against the Vikings. He looked awful last week. He looked dreadful. You were against Kelly last week. You were absolutely bang on the money. But if you want one team to make a running back look good, it's the Vikings. So are you gonna still fade Kelly and go Jaylen Warren, or are you going Kelly?
No, I would take Jaylen Warren. I don't necessarily believe that Josh Kelly will be the heart and soul of the offense today. Like, you're playing a dome game. The weather is perfect. You got 2 pass-happy teams with questionable run games.
Terrible, yeah.
But we'll see how Cam Akers does. I don't think he's playing today.
No, he's inactive.
Yeah, so we'll see how he shakes things up next week. But as it stands, like, Alexander Mattison and Josh Kelly, you really don't have much confidence in both. At least I don't. And you have really good receiving options. Why this game would be played or won on the ground would be kind of besides my conventional thinking. And a 54.5 point over under just kind of, speaks to the fireworks that could happen here. So Kelly, I think you're looking to get in the end zone if you play him, but I think Warren is more involved, so I would just go with Warren.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Baker. I'm going Kelly. I think the Vikings are just going to get lit up, and Kelly will be. I think he gets in the end zone. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen.
We used to be so on the same page, and now we are not.
That's all right. Walnuts. Oh, we got a super chat. Sorry, here.
Yep.
Good call.
Justin, full PPR flex starting Garrett Wilson, but Zach and the weather worrying me. I have Josh Reynolds, Michael Thomas, Jerome Ford, and Najee available. I think it's okay to sit Garrett Wilson down, especially against the Patriots. The Patriots are going to take away your best option. We saw what happened to Tyreek Hill, held under 50 yards. That's what Bill Belichick does. So it's going to be interesting to see what his game plan is. But I think with the options that you have, Michael Thomas is intriguing for me, and Jerome Ford as well. I think those two guys are ones that you can look at. Obviously, Najee is a fine option too. There is some worry though with him that his utilization is going to go down. His efficiency has not been a strong point. And when you get a guy like Jerome Ford, who's looked very solid, or even Michael Thomas, who's been decently involved, I think I lean those two options ahead of Najee, and I'd be okay with just sitting Garrett Wilson down.
Yeah, it's scary. We know Garrett Wilson can take anything to the house,
Yep.
but you need to rely on that, and you need to rely on the outlier plays for Garrett Wilson. I got a question for you there, Max. I'm playing Scotty this week in our Big 16 team league. I've got Garrett Wilson, but I do have Dalton Kincaid as an option too that I could flex in there.
Yeah.
I typically don't want to go for a tight end, but Kincaid hasn't been bad. At least we know his quarterback is competent. He got 5 or 6 targets last week. That's pretty much Scott's bringing in the dog. We got a mascot here now too.
Now the upside for me on Kincaid is not there, whereas Garrett Wilson could still be top 15 on the week, no problem.
Yeah.
Right. So no, I'm rolling out Garrett Wilson.
You're still rolling out. He did get 8 targets last week. They're low quality targets, but he's getting them.
Do you know where we were?
Yeah, we were at let's see here. We were at Walnuts. I got Walnuts in here. You're awesome. Thank you for your work. Full PPR flex spot, Lockett, Breece Hall, or Gabe Davis. I think I'm going Lockett. I don't know why I like Lockett. I didn't really like him going in, but he proved he's a target monster, man. Sometimes he had a great week last week.
The only part of the Carolina Panthers defense that is actually good is their secondary. So we'll see how they handle the Seahawks today. I mean, the Seahawks are very well-rounded. They have 3 quality wide receivers and a good run game. There's going to be opportunities, I think, for them today, and it should be, in my opinion, a pretty easy win. They're laying 5 right now. I think I'd take that all day. I kind of tend to agree, even though Gabe Davis is enticing as well. Commanders are also a half decent defense. I think if you're playing either Gabe or Lockett, you're just hoping for the big play. And yeah, I would probably go Lockett just for what I said earlier with Breece Hall. You just maybe want to find out how it is from your bench for one more week.
Yeah. I love Breece, and I will start him if I have him, but not when I have these other good options.
Sure,
I'll see it first. I want to see him getting that 15 attempts on the ground, 5 targets. We want 20 opportunities for Breece, and it's a pure projection for him to get that. They haven't proven that they want to give him that workload yet. Assuming competent coaching sometimes is dangerous, like I like to say.
Breece, Mostert, or Gibbs?
I love Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think he's going to get a lot of work. But Mostert had a really good game this past week, and without Waddle, they're going to have to lean on Mostert a little bit more. I think Devin Achane could be more involved, but he's more of a pass catching option. Last week, we saw 18 attempts on the ground for Mostert, 6 receptions. That's the kind of workload we want from Breece, but Mostert was getting it. Denver is a good matchup to target. I want to say Gibbs, but my brain is saying just like, why would you go away from Mostert?
Yeah, I mean, the Atlanta Falcons have been one of the better run defenses, at least against fantasy running backs. I think they're the 6th best at the moment through 2 weeks. And yeah, they played the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Jones. So there's a little bit of a bias there that we have to account for. But, on the ground, they've been all right. They've actually just not given their opponents a lot of opportunity with how long they've possessed the ball. They've really leaned on their run game. They haven't had too many. Actually, I don't think they've had any turnovers. I think Desmond Ridder is 0 interceptions through 2 weeks. So, they hold on to the ball. They put you in a run heavy game. And I'm hopeful if I play Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm
Yeah.
not counting on a big game because I know at any point you're going to see a mixture of other backs in there. Like it's like
Yeah.
when it
Craig
should be
Reynolds.
Jahmyr Gibbs, it's going to
Yeah.
be Craig Reynolds, and you're like,
Exactly.
why? Like I
Yeah.
don't understand.
I know. I'm excited, but yeah, I think it's Mostert.
Damian Pierce, Tank Dell, Jahan Dotson at the flex this week.
I do think Pierce has a bounce back week. But I mean, it's hard to go away from Dell, isn't it?
I think they're just totally different plays.
Yeah.
I think the hardest defensive matchup is probably Dotson against the Bills.
Yeah, I'm
Tank
going to
Dell,
stay away from Dotson. Dotson's been very disappointing.
I never really understood the hype on him anyways. I
Yeah.
like preseason, people were very bullish on him, drafting
Mm-hmm.
him 6th, 7th round in fantasy drafts. I just didn't really understand, especially with a rookie quarterback, or if you want to, Sam Howell never really played last year. So
Yeah.
red shirt rookie, let's call him.
Yeah, 5th round pick. Like we liked, yeah, sure. He looked pretty good, but
Yeah.
that was preseason.
And if I'm forced to start a Houston Texan, I'm going to take the one that can't be game scripted out. So I will take Tank Dell. I don't expect the Houston Texans to come out and jump out to a commanding lead and just run the ball down the Jags' throats all day.
Yeah.
At least I hope not. They're my pick for Survivor. So yeah, I think Tank Dell, you're just hoping for a couple strikes downfield and you take the upside.
Yep, sounds good. Geek coming in here. What's up? Happy week 3. Need 2 for home league. He's got Josh Kelly, Gus Edwards, or Jalen Warren.
Mm-hmm.
2 options. So, some 2 running backs that are expected to get the work, like the bell cow workload, which is Josh Kelly and Gus Edwards, probably. And then Jalen Warren, who looks great, is going to get mixed in with Najee Harris. Reports saying that he's going to get more work than previous. He needs 2. I think we might be different on these. I think I'll go Josh Kelly and Jalen Warren.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna jump on the Gus bus for no apparent reason. I think I just don't believe in Josh Kelly. I don't think he's capable of handling the full workload and being the guy when the spotlight's on him. But you're grasping for straws here. Like I'll take the game that has the more projected points. So yeah, give me a Charger or a Viking. But I'll also take Jalen Warren.
Yeah, love it. Gator fan, start 2 full PPR. Gabe Davis, Elijah Moore, Tank Dell, or Dotson. Gabe Davis is in there for sure. I think for both of us. So you got to choose between Moore, Dell, and Dotson.
Davis and Dell.
Davis and Dell it is. We got Justin's question because he had a super chat. So thanks for coming in, Justin. We very much appreciate it. Griff shouting out Geek. Nice to make it over to the stream. Thanks for that support. We love seeing the same names every single week, hanging out with you guys every week, answering your questions. It's a lot of fun. We're happy to keep doing this as long as y'all keep showing up. We got how many people? 26 people watching the video. Toss a like on the video. It really helps. Share it to your friends if you can. Join the community. We have a Discord community that's active, and we bounce ideas off of like-minded fantasy guys. So if you do want to join our membership, really just to support the show. It's like a cup of coffee every month. If you want to just say, hey, thanks guys for answering my questions every week. It's just a small token of your gratitude. So Steve-O, Drake London, Mike Thomas, Hunter Henry, or Zach Moss in the flex, half PPR. It's between Mike Thomas and Zach Moss for me. Mac, where are you leaning?
I think you got to play Drake London.
Oh, yeah. I was after week 1, I just hit the fade button on London. He got in the end zone this past week. You know, he had a good game, but it's hard for me to trust that passing attack for the Falcons. I'm just going to lean into this Drake London fade that I'm going to dig my heels in a little bit longer, and I'll be proven right, I think.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, like you could just take the potential volume on Zach Moss, like to the conversation we had earlier in the week, Landon, like they cut Deion Jackson. And is that an indictment on how good Zach Moss looks, or the confidence they have in him, or how just lost and poor Deion Jackson was? Like, I'm not really quite sure, but he's just the lone man in the backfield. So if you really want an opportunity play, take Zach Moss. They're without Anthony Richardson. So, they're going to be playing Gardner Minshew, which he's a game manager. He's fine.
Yeah.
I think my play would be Drake London. I think secondary play would be Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry's fine, but I'm not going to play a tight end over a running back or a wide receiver.
Floor play being Zach Moss. We know that Drake London can put up a 0. He's likely not. He's getting more targets than he did week 1, obviously. But yeah, floor play being Zach. If you're projected to win, just play Zach Moss in the flex. If you're projected to lose and need a big game, I mean, we know Drake London's extremely talented. My indictment on him is not his talent. It's just that offense and running the football is the issue there in Atlanta. DMB, pick 2, Rachaad White, James Conner, Zach Moss, or Jerome Ford. What do you think, Mac?
Yeah, James Conner is an interesting one here. The game scripts for him are not great. The matchups are not favorable. Yeah. But it's like, it's just opportunity. And I think Conner and White I think they're better football players, and I think they have just as much opportunity. So I would go with White and Conner and, see what happens with Moss and Ford on your bench. Ford, even though there is confidence there for me, it is a bit of an unknown as well.
Yeah. It's 2 volume plays in tough matchups, but it's a tough one.
Who do you like for the Vikings Chargers game, just by the way?
I think I like the Chargers. It's crazy. One of these teams is going to be 0-3 to start the season.
I'm going Vikings.
And it could be the Chargers. I think it's possible. That would be a crazy start to their season. Hopefully, I can't wait to watch that game. It's going to be a shootout.
It's going to be so good.
Amari Cooper versus Josh Kelly, and that's fine. We'll go Amari Cooper here versus Tennessee. I think that's an easy one. I've spoken highly of Josh
to play as well.
Yeah, he's very involved in that offense, getting a ton of targets. Josh Kelly, you don't want to have to rely on a guy like Josh Kelly, despite my confidence in him. I think we should Mac and I can balance each other out and give Amari Cooper some confidence here. RG, we got PPR projected to win. Thank you for that context. Pick 2 quarterbacks from Prescott, Goff, Fields. First Fields question of the day. And pick 1 flex from Godwin, Hopkins, James Cook.
Kareem Hunt on a snap count, by the way.
Who's that?
Kareem Hunt on a snap count.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm not going to start Kareem Hunt this week. I think Jerome Ford is the back to play. I think he's got like I think he's got like a top 20 or 15 maybe RB locked up. Like he's going to get a ton of work.
So pick 2 QBs. I'll take Goff, and I'll take.
Is Justin Fields going to run like he said? Like he's saying he needs to ball out.
The thing is, like I'm losing faith in Justin Fields. Prescott
yeah.
for sure. Like Prescott against the Cardinals is fantasy gold. Like you got to get your hands on that. My point about the Falcons just eating clock and possessing the ball, like it's very possible that continues in this matchup. I kind of like Detroit at home, so I would probably go Prescott and Goff. I would just sit Fields down.
Me too. Me too.
I'm
If
glad
you're
truther.
because RG's projected to win, I think those are two very safe options. If you're going to
Right.
lose, if you're playing against Pat Mahomes in that same matchup for Fields, yeah, go for the home run play in Justin Fields, and hopefully he runs for 150 yards. Like he can do it. He's an athlete, but
Right.
the Kansas City defense can be very good, and they're going to try to force him to pass the football. They do not want him to run.
Also, anybody who's playing Joe Burrow, I don't expect him to play. The Bengals brought in 2 quarterbacks for workouts yesterday, so that kind of speaks to me thinking that Joe Burrow will be inactive.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. What does that do for your T. Higgins, Jamar Chase love here? Are you still going to start both those guys with confidence?
I think if you got him, you got to start him. I'm not gonna. There's not a world where I'd sit them down.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with that. And if Jamar Chase continues to have a bad game, I mean, you need to try to trade for him everywhere you can.
Yeah, trade for, not trade away.
Correct. Do not trade away Jamar Chase.
Geno Smith, Joe Burrow. Oh wow, look at that, perfect. I would take Geno. Just play Geno.
Oh, Geno. Yep. And one running back between Jerome Ford, Breece Hall, or Gainwell. I'm probably going to go Ford. Yeah.
Can't play Gainwell without seeing the split between him and Swift, in my opinion.
We missed a flex spot with the two, Godwin, Hopkins, James Cook. Are you going Godwin?
Sorry. Yeah, I would probably just stick with James Cook. Like they're in a really good matchup. It was the first time we really saw him get the full workload. And while Godwin and Hopkins are great, like James Cook was involved in the passing game, they're going to be in position to score a lot. So I just look at those guys having more opportunity, more exposure to the red zone. I would just roll James Cook, stay with the hot hand.
Sounds good. Sack coming in here. Breece Hall or Miles Sanders or Kelly. He wants to know which one to bench. So start 2.
Just bench Josh Kelly.
Just bench Josh Kelly. Okay. Cam is smoothing out. Isn't it smooth? Appreciate you.
Hey, 45 minutes which way?
Yeah, let me know, Steve. Oh, yeah, we're probably right in your area.
Because Landon's currently 45 minutes west, and I'm about 45 minutes east. But
come over, come watch,
Toronto.
come watch football with us, Steve-O.
Tank Dell, Damian Pierce, Dotson. I think we got this one. Repeat question, but Tank Dell.
There you go. Claire coming in here. FPPR. My wide receiver flex hasn't performed, and she's 0-2.
Yep.
Olave, Godwin, Puka. Also has DJ Moore, Ford, London on her bench. Would you swap anyone out? Swap Godwin or anyone else?
Yeah, I just wouldn't be taking the chance with Puka.
That's the risk. Now she's
questionable, and it's the Monday night game.
I do think he plays though, right? Like it doesn't seem like he was questionable last week. He played. We faded him last week.
But what if he doesn't? You know, like, are you really? If this was a deeper league and your options were like Kadarius, Tony, Tank Dell, like, okay, fine, roll out Puka. But the fact that you could have DJ Moore or Drake London or even Jerome Ford, like, you're just taking an unnecessary risk, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would probably play DJ Moore.
Right. I would stay where you are and just stick with. And I think if you're 0-2, you might need a big week. You might be projected to lose. Puka's basically the wide receiver 1 right now, or 2, if that. You might need those 20 targets to get it. So DJ Moore with Fields behind center, he might not be. He can turn anything into a touchdown. We know that, but he could be a high risk player too. All those guys are kind of high risk. They could have a bad game. So I would leave in Puka. Mac would put in DJ Moore, but it's all your risk level, Claire. Like you got to figure out, like if Puka doesn't play, you're probably going to lose. So maybe
you're taking a 0.
You're taking a 0. Yep. That's the risk level.
And to me, that's just not worth it.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
Here we go.
Ford or Gus? Ford for me.
Yeah, Ford for me as well.
Kelly or Pickens? I would go Pickens.
There we go. Keep going. Myers or Pickens?
Pickens.
Pickens for me as well. You
Javonte.
I'm bounce back week for Javonte. Love it.
Yeah, big time. Warren or Roshan? I would go Roshan.
I'll go Warren.
Warren?
Yeah.
Okay. You go. I gotta make a couple adjustments here.
Okay. Okay. Non PPR Gainwell or Kenny Miller? I'm gonna go Kendre. I think Kendre has a pretty good game this week.
Are we calling him Kenny?
I don't know. That's the first time I've seen.
That's crazy to me.
Kenny Miller.
We can't be calling him Kenny. No.
Paz is thinking about starting Addison over somewhat injured Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pray for a shootout LA Vikings LA game.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. I like starting Addison. So Scotty, producer Scott's a big Vikings fan. I'm the most casual Vikings fan in the world. So I have Addison playing against him, and I'm praying for a big game. I ramp up to be a pretty good first year rookie coming in this league. So yeah, I don't hate it, man. Amon-Ra, toe injury, he's gonna play, but he might be very limited. It might be frustrating watching him kind of not run routes, be a distraction on the field. Griff, A-Chain or Vaughn, PPR. That's a tough one. That's gross. You're right, Griff. That is gross.
Keyshawn Vaughn?
No, Deuce Vaughn.
Okay. I would still go A-Chain though.
Yeah, risk it on A-Chain. I think with the Waddle out, he could see some targets going his way.
Big time.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, my guy. The Eagles fan hates me. You didn't say Godwin. Yeah, I mean, here we go.
It's fine. Yeah.
Should I start Breece Hall or Josh Kelly? I want to keep my flex option open for Nakua, but might flex Kelly or Breece because I have a feeling either could do it well.
I'm not starting Josh Kelly over Breece Hall. I'm just not going to do it.
And Mac is digging his heels in. Straight fade on
Kelly
on
is
Josh
not
Kelly.
good at football. He's not good.
And we know that Breece Hall is good. So there we go.
Correct.
Pick 2, Najee, Judy, London, Josh Reynolds. Najee in London?
Yeah.
Full PPR.
Yep.
Colby thinking Josh Kelly gets some garbage points. And he very well might.
Pick me a winner between Las Vegas and Pittsburgh right now.
I think I picked. I don't know. There's a prop on FanDuel that has Vegas winning and Jacobs over 50 or 60 yards, and I wanted to take it, but I wasn't sure Vegas is going to win.
I'm going to take the Rams also to beat the Bengals.
I guess true. Without Burrow, that's a good one. Yeah. Speaking of two bad players, Madison or Kelly?
I'll take Madison.
All right. Dak or Geno needing a boom play. Worried about Dallas game script getting bad game script with Dak.
Needing the boom play. I would go Dak. Like, at what point are they going to take their starters out? Their starters out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
if they come out and score 3 or 4 touchdowns in the first half, you got to think Dak's going to probably see 2 passing touchdowns.
Yep.
They're going to be able to move the ball with ease. Geno's in a good spot too, don't get me wrong, but
like you said earlier, Carolina can be beaten on the ground, so that could be a slow game as well. So
it's like a 35.5 point over under. Like, it's super low.
Yeah. What a sweet pup. Yeah. Scotty loves his Buster. Ryan Tams, welcome to the show. Don't forget to like the stream. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Crystal VB, hey guys, pick 2 Wide receivers, 1 RB, 1 tight end, 1 flex.
Oh,
Let's just
my lineup.
set your
My
lineup.
lineup.
St. Brown, Mike Williams, George Pickens, Zay Flowers at wide receiver. If you're worried about like normally I would just go with Amon-Ra and probably Mike Williams again in that over-under. But if you're worried about Amon-Ra's toe, you go Mike Williams and Zay or Pickens.
I would play Zay Flowers over George Pickens.
There we go.
What are we picking? I would just play St. Brown and Mike Williams.
Yeah, that's kind of
The Chargers Vikings. We're just hoping for big things.
Yeah.
Running backs, I think you just got to play Jahmyr Gibbs and hope that this is the week that it happens. At tight end, I'm going to play Hunter Henry.
Yep.
And then
so in the flex, you play Zay?
In the flex, I'd play Zay, yeah.
Love it. Michael, McKinnon, Hunt, or A-Chain, leaning McKinnon because of the Chicago defense.
Hunt, you can't play. He's on a snap count, and we don't believe that he'll get the, enough opportunity. McKinnon just has not grabbed a hold of any opportunity.
No.
Isaiah Pacheco and Kadarius Toney are both in per Jay Glazer right now.
Yeah, I just see that. Yeah.
I would play A-Chain.
Yeah. I mean, it's between A-Chain and McKinnon for me. I don't. If you think that you want to play McKinnon, I think you should just go with your gut.
Look,
but
I'm not willing to die on the A-Chain hill. Like they're very risky plays.
Yeah,
they have little to no opportunity. It's going to come down to efficiency and if one gets into the end zone or not. Like
it's not a confidence play saying A-Chain. I'll tell you that. So if you're leaning McKinnon, that's enough for me. If you want the confidence, like the confirmation bias, give her, dude.
Derek Carr or DeAndre Swift for the super flex spot. What do you like?
Probably Carr. I think it's hard to sit down Swift, but I mean, yeah, you got to go. I'm in a league where I lost Barkley, J.K. Dobbins, and I had to pick up Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I have to start him this week, like right off the waivers in my starting because I got no other options.
Right.
That's tough. Yeah. Purest rest of season. We don't have a ton of time, but
love it.
Yeah. He's a volume play on a bad team. I think this week he could bounce back. So if you can ship him off after a good performance this week, do that, Alex. Claire is losing faith in the Browns. Both half PPR. Would you play Watson or Geno? 10-team league projected to lose, played against Debo. So that's a good context. Appreciate that, Claire. Would you play Kincaid over Njoku as well? And in a 12-team league projected to win, would be stacked with Allen. Yes. So Allen and Kincaid, absolutely. Love that play, Claire. Njoku's been super disappointing. He looks slow. He looks like Najee slow, like just a lumbering guy out there.
Najee slow is not good.
Yeah. Lumbering slow is not good.
Slow motion run of Najee Harris that wasn't slow motion.
No, I didn't see that.
Someone was like, it looks like Najee Harris is running in slow motion. It actually looks as he's coming across the field that he's moving slow, like everything's slow. But then you see guys that are moving full speed. You're like, wow. Just shocking.
And then Deshaun Watson or Geno. And I mean, Claire's losing faith in the Browns. I don't blame her. Against Tennessee, I mean, Tennessee could win this game. I think Watson and Geno are close as it is. So if you want to just fade Deshaun, like I'm absolutely fine going with Geno Smith in that matchup. Go with your gut. If you don't want to play the Browns, you don't want to watch those Browns anymore, sit down Watson and Njoku. I don't mind it.
We're not going to get to every single question today.
Oh yeah, it's 1:00 already.
It is.
All right.
Most of the rest of the season. Real quick here at the last ones. I would go with Algier. I would go with Collins over Najee in a full. I would go Javonte over Moss. I would go Williams over Lockett. Ford over Edwards.
Yep.
Warren over. I would go Roshan.
And we're out of time.
Is there any others? I'm just looking.
Sorry, guys. I lost track of time there. Sorry, Zach had a question about White, Gainwell, Warren. I'll go White in that over is between White and Dylan for me, but
White and Dylan, I would go White.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. That was appreciate Mac for coming in. Sorry we didn't get to every single question. Yeah, Jim, 2-minute warning. Sorry about that. Hopefully, let me know who you started there. But we will be back next week. We'll in our normal houses. And good luck, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, good luck. We'll see you next week.
Okay. Goodbye.